Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Time Is Now podcast. My name is Jody Albert Moss, and my guest today is Reverend Sheila Black. Sheila does a lot of interesting things. She's had a lot of experience, and I'm just going to turn it over and let her do an introduction and share a little bit of what she does, and then we'll move forward from there. Sheila.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jody. Thanks for inviting me onto your podcast. It's great to see you again, and welcome to all the people who are going to be watching. As Jody mentioned, I'm Reverend Sheila Black, and I'm an ordained minister with the Spiritualist Church of Canada. And when people say church, sometimes they get a lot of bad memories of maybe Catholicism or any bad memories of churches. So even though it's called a Spiritualist Church, it's more of a gathering of community and like-minded people. All of the ministers are ordained ministers. They all are mediums. They're healers, and basically we study world religion. And so we are a minister. I can officiate weddings. It's always fun to do weddings. I do funerals. I teach mediumship. I've been teaching mediumship and working as a full-time medium since 2014. I was ordained in 2014, actually, with the Spiritualist Church of Canada. And I was ordained also in the States, just outside of Lilydale, New York. And for those that don't know, Lilydale, New York is the largest spiritualist community in North America. So I was double ordained. So some of my friends call me Rev. I get that one sometimes. And, I've been teaching, and I do mediumship with like clients. I have clients from all over the world right now. I have clients because, technology with Zoom, even before the pandemic, I was on Zoom seeing clients all over the world. And so it's wonderful that you can talk to anybody anytime, and it works the same. Some people think, how can you do mediumship on the phone or on computer? And it is exactly the same, whether it's on the phone or in person. And part of what I also do, Jody, is I do a lot of healing work. I use crystals. I use all kinds of different energies, and I actually, basically, I'm a conduit for spirit. Spirit works through me, through my clients, and I do a bit of trance healing at the beginning, which is basically I don't do anything. I just let spirit do their thing through me. And with the healings, I do use crystals and sound and scent, all kinds of different things to really enhance the healing. And generally with my sessions, it's half a healing and half a reading, generally. Most people come to me because they want to talk to someone in particular. And so once they have my session and they have the healing, it's like, oh my goodness, what was that? And a lot of them book again just for the healing portion. And there's so much, I don't know where to stop here. And I teach mediumship. I teach spiritual development, whether it's mediumship, whether it's healing, energy work. It really depends, but it's all awesome. I love what I do. And I feel like, since leaving the corporate world after 30 years and doing this for the past 8.5 years or so, this is really where I should be.
Interesting. So help us understand. Someone wants to get a hold of you, and I'll put your links when I make the post. It'll be in the link. Okay. Can you kind of talk them through, if it's their first time, like what would they expect? They've just reached out to you and you've made the connection.
Okay. So generally people hear from me either through my webpage, which you said you'll post, but it's B1 with Spirit, just like it's on the back of me here. And they reach out to me because, like I say, some people reach out because they've lost somebody and they really want to connect with them. They want to know that they're okay. Like recently, I'm involved with a women's Facebook group, and they're all mothers of children who have died. And most of them have committed suicide. So it's pretty sad. But generally what happens is I can connect with the person, whether, again, it's on Zoom or whether it's in person. And as a medium, why they call us mediums actually is because we meet in the middle. Like spirit needs to lower their energy, their vibration, and we need to raise our vibration so we can connect with the spirit world. So I can connect with your loved ones. I can bring evidential proof, like, the description, how they passed, perhaps their name, where they lived, hobbies, and to really prove that that person, your loved one, is with me and with you. And our loved ones are always with us. And I need to tell people it's never anything to be scared of. Some people are afraid of working with the spirit world, and spirit is always here to help us. Spirit loves us unconditionally. So when I connect with you, when you come in to, like, again, to see me in person or on Zoom, the first thing I would do is I do the healing first. And whether it's distant, doesn't matter. I can do distant healing. I use my etheric weaver. I send energy to them. And people always tell me they can feel it. And if you're in person, what I would do is I have a massage table set up in my room here. And again, I have the person relaxing with different music, different aromatherapy. And I use, again, a bit of a trance channel, just sending energy to where they need it. Then I use my etheric weaver and go around the whole body to clear the body. I use crystals. I use singing bowls. Sometimes I do a bit of shamanic healing with my drum and various other things like that. And then after the healing, whether it's online or in person, I tell you what I pick up, because spirit will show me, whether or not, they have heart issues or there's emotional blockages, or they also show me if there's been, trauma or abuse to the person. And if they're willing to talk about it, I'm here to help them. And most of my clients tell me that coming to me for sessions like that is much more beneficial than going to their psychologist for counseling, because it's healing and it's counseling. I offer like spiritual counseling. So I am a trained minister, as we know, and I have dealt with grief counseling and overall counseling, but spirit also provides counseling for the client. And again, once we figure out what we need to talk about for the healing, then we see who from spirit wants to come through. And generally, like 99.9% of the time, the person or people that you want to hear from, they're already waiting for you to come. So they come in and they'll show you, or there's different ways of working with mediumship. There's clairvoyance, which is seeing. And sometimes I do see like the spirit is standing right in front of me, just like you and I. They look just like regular people. Other times you see spirit in your eye, like in your mind's eye. And I can describe how they look. And then you can feel. Claircognizant is a knowing. Clairsentient is actually the real, like the knowing, like the feeling. So when I work with all these different ways of connecting, but I really feel the essence of the person's soul. Like the true personality will really come through when I work, and I really feel them. So if they're like an outgoing person, I come in and I feel like my personality, I take on their personality somewhat. And then there's also clairaudient hearing, so I can hear. Sometimes they may play a favorite song that you and your loved one like to listen to, or something like that. And the whole thing, it's all about healing, Jody. It's 100% about healing. It's not about becoming this famous rich medium or whatever, but it's all about helping people heal. And with what's going on in the world these past years, and there's so much stress in the world. I have a lot of younger clients that come to me that don't necessarily have someone that's passed away, but they want spiritual counsel, spiritual guidance, and healing, and to help with the stresses of the world. And that's basically what it's all about. I do all these different things and more, I guess. Yeah.
Interesting. Sounds like you cover a lot of topics there. A little bit of shamanic work, crystals, energy. If I understand correctly, like whether it's an in-person session or a distance remote, you basically work with the energies and tune everything up, and then the information kind of comes.
Exactly.
It
is all about, exactly. It is all about energy, and everything has energy. As I know, because I know of what you do, so I know everything that you understand the energy. But yes, spirit is energy. We're energy. And for a medium to really work, like I said, we really need to focus on raising our vibration, raising our energy, because the spirit world vibrates at a higher frequency. So we need to really, I also get my students to expand your solar plexus, because in my belief, that's where your soul resides, is in your solar plexus. So you work on the breath work, you work on expanding your solar plexus, your soul energy, expanding. And then at the same time, the spirit world works with you and blends their energy with you. And yes, it's all energy. And, by working with spirit, I really feel them you know, I get head to toe goosebumps sometimes, or like I can feel if they had a heart attack, I can feel it. If they hung themselves, I can feel it. You know, if they're laughing, and I really feel that, like I said earlier, I really feel the essence of their soul. And that's what's most important, I feel, to really prove 100% that you've got the right person for your client, right? You don't want to, I think one of my teachers in the past said, you're not going to pick up the phone and talk to somebody you don't know. So it's important that you prove beyond a doubt that you've got the person that they want to hear from. And then the messages come through, and messages can be, you know, all different kinds of messages. I like it when the spirit will provide, you know, something that just happened, so they know that that their spirit loved one is still with them, even though they're on the other side. And like when I say the other side, it's not like it's like way up in the sky with, you know, angels with harps and all this kind of stuff. Like, again, it's all energy. And I do feel that spirit is all around us, right? They just vibrate at a different frequency. Like you and I are in this room, and my spirit people are in this room, and we're all together. It's not like it's a different world, right? It's not. It's they call, I guess, spiritualists will call it a different world, or the other side, or when two worlds meet, you know, the earth plane and the spiritual world meet. However, it's really, the energy is all around us, and they're always with us.
I agree. For me, everything's energy, frequency, vibration. The more we raise our vibration, spirits all around us. It's like the veil gets really thin. I also want to ask you, does someone necessarily have to have someone that's passed on before they come to you, or could someone just they know in their intuitive side inside of them that there's something they need to know? If they came to see you, like, does it always have to be people who have passed on that come and talk to them, or are there other energies that are around them wanting to communicate with them? Does that make sense?
There is yes, there is other energies. I guess to answer your question, a lot of, like I said earlier, a lot of young people come to me that haven't had anyone pass away, and they come to me for more spiritual advice, spiritual counsel, and for the actual healing. I do work with other energies. Maybe that's something we can talk about on another call, because it's not for everyone. Like how I've been trained, it's to bring in the loved ones from your family, your friends, your spirit guides. Maybe it could be spirit guides that come through, and it's not necessarily mom and dad and brothers, sisters, or whatever. It could be, yes, different entities may come through. Spirit guides may come through. There's all kinds of work with this. But generally, most people that go to a medium, like an evidential medium like myself, they really truly want to hear from someone in particular that has passed away. Except for the people who, like I said, didn't lose anyone. They want to talk to spirit. They want to talk like when I say spirit, like, you know, you have your guides, I have my guides. So if you came for a reading with me, your guides and my guides kind of talk, and they tell me stuff, and I say, okay, so spirit is saying whatever they're saying, and I don't necessarily have grandma, grandpa. It could be any energies that's working with us at the same time, bringing messages forward. So to answer your question, in a long roundabout way, yes, other energies do come through.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was thinking about when I asked the question. It was more like, I'll just use the term like human spirits, people who have passed on. So they're on the other side now, but they're not necessarily a relative. May communicate to give some information.
Exactly. We could have even like ancestors that we've never met that could have been like thousands of years ago that may want to come forward with a message. It really depends on what that person needs, what my client truly needs. That's what will happen.
Yeah, that's interesting. You said ancestors. Do you get involved with ancestral healing? I don't know a lot about that, but
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I do, Jody, and I do I do work with Akashic Records as well. So when you work with the Akashic Records, for those that are watching that don't know, is also referred to as a book of life. So it has all the lives that have passed, all the lives that are current, all the lives that are in the future. So I may go in, and if I have a client, generally not the first time, I won't do this, maybe the first time, but if they come back again and then more of a trusting relationship, I may ask them if I can access their Akashic Records. And when I go into the Akashic Records, it's going to show past lives that are like, what I asked for is to show me a past life that's affecting this life. So something that needs to be shed or something that needs to be understood from a past life that you're bringing forward that's affecting, your true ability to live your full life. So that's more with the Akashic Records, but sure, ancestral, like, of course, it's in our DNA, right? So if we have abuse in, and like I have lots of young women that come to me, and yes, there's lots of ancestral healing because it's the DNA is handed over from great grandma to grandma to mom to you, and you're carrying this trauma that your grandmother or your great grandmother or even further ago may be carrying. So we need to actually heal your personal DNA, which heals the past and heals the future too.
Yeah, that amazes me. I know myself, I think, well, this is me. Here I am. This is my life, right? I often forget about the connectedness of what 1,000 years ago, what might have happened to our ancestors that we're carrying forward and dealing with right now today.
Absolutely. And there's a Lakota saying, it's called Omitakias, and that's we're all related. And so I truly believe that we all come from the source of all, like whatever you want to call this source energy, that, whether it's from the stars, wherever you may believe that Earth came from. I believe it came from the stars, but that's another thing. So, the energy from the God source, if you want to call it God, or you want to call it creator, you want to call it whatever you want to call it. I like to refer to it as source, or, I say creator quite a bit too, but so that energy that created all that there is in with every single person. Like there's a bit of that energy in every single person in the past, the present, and the future. We're all related.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Sheila, is there anything you want to share with us about being a reverend in the Spiritualist Church? Something that I don't always ask the right questions, so I'll open it up to you. Is there something you want to share?
Okay, no, it's great because I feel like we, as a minister in the Spiritualist churches, I do work at many Spiritualist churches. I'm working this Sunday and the next Sunday, and I'm on Zoom with the London Church this Sunday, and then the Cambridge Church the following Sunday. And basically on Zoom, it's kind of cool how it works because it's become blended. Since COVID, we're having people, some people are back in the church and some people are still on Zoom. And since I've moved kind of far away now, I can be sitting on Zoom and I can do the mediumship, I can do my address. Some people will be on Zoom and some people will be in the church congregation. So it's like, I just trust spirit. They're going to give me messages, and whether it belongs to somebody who's on Zoom or whether it belongs to somebody in the church, it's a different way of working, but I think it's very cool. And spirit never ceases to amaze me, the things that they can do. And again, like spiritual church, the weddings that I do, for example, too, I find they're very low key. That people are more gravitating toward spiritualism instead of like a really strict religions. I do like a lot of outdoor casual kind of weddings or that kind of thing where it's like, I do believe in a higher source of all there is, but a lot of people don't like to have the word God in their ceremony. They want it to be just a little bit more relaxed and more open. And like I said, as a spiritualist minister, we welcome in all religions under, like we have no dogma. So everybody and anybody is welcome. Always makes me happy when there's somebody under the age of 50 in our congregations, because it tends to be older people. And I remember meeting your lovely daughter, and it was so nice to see her in the congregation because she was only, I think, 13 at the time, right, when she was there. But it's great. Like I love what I do. It has stresses, a little bit different stresses, more maybe emotional stresses, especially dealing with all the women, all the moms who lost children. Especially, I did almost 3 months in a row, every day, like 3 a day, every day, and it was very, very sad for me because I pick up their sadness too. But it also brings great joy because you can see the joy on their faces, knowing that their loved ones are okay. That's what's most important. It's, again, Jody, it's all about healing. It's all about helping people. And I do various, I do stuff with the church, and I may be doing something out this way. I'm in the North Belleville area in a small town called Roslyn. I've been asked by a few people, I may open something here, but it would be something maybe once a month, like at a community center or something kind of like that, more of a gathering of like minds, maybe not as structured as some. And like I'm in Toronto, April 15th, I think it is, a Saturday early evening, doing a group demonstration of mediumship. That's something I also do. I go to various places and do like a group session for 20 to 200 people type thing. And it's always fun to do those because the energy is really big, lots of people in there. So really the energy, like talking about energy earlier, it really raises the energy and it makes it more fun to work for sure.
So I'm gathering that you travel. Like, would you travel
Sure.
around to see people if the need arose?
Yes, I do. I do travel. I especially weddings and funerals. I'll drive around, and I do work at some of the churches and drive around. I'm always going to the States, at Lilydale and the Indigenous community I belong with down there. So yeah, I do travel, and I do house clearings as well. So talk about travel, like if somebody needs their house cleared because of energies. I know I believe that you do that too, Jody. But I also go to people's homes if they want a session in the home, especially if somebody can't get out because of mobility issues or whatever. Yes, I do try to do my best to help.
Good. Sounds like you're a very busy lady.
I am, that's for sure. It's all good though. It's great busy.
There's a huge need, we're in some trying times, and it's nice for people to know who they can go to other than what we've been conditioned to believe. Sometimes it just doesn't do it. We need something different. So that's
Exactly.
good. What's the best way for people to get a hold of you, Sheila?
Oh, Jody, probably the best way would be on my webpage, which is www.be1withspirit.com. That way you can read up a little bit about me more, and you can email me through there. That's the best way. Then it's easier for me to track on email too, because if I get text and phone, it's really hard to control. So email's the best. Webpage is the best.
Right. Okay, that's good. Do you have any social media?
Yes, I'm on Instagram, Reverend Sheila on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, Be One with Spirit. I do have LinkedIn, and I'm not on that often. I do have TikTok, and I know from my friend Jody, I should be on there more, but I'm not there on as much as I should be. I do have social media for sure, though.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. So
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good session, actually. Reverend Sheila will be on again, hopefully, if she'll come back. I like to do short podcasts so that people can just get a feel and reach out. I bring people on that I know are good and credible, and most of them I personally know. So I do know Reverend Sheila Black. And like I say, her information will be posted on the podcast when it goes up. So it'll be posted to my YouTube channel, and it goes up through Anchor and Shopify to about 9 other podcast platforms. So look for us there. The Time Is Now podcast. Thank you, Reverend Sheila Black. It was wonderful having you.
And thank you, Jody, for having me. It's been great seeing you again and talking. So thank you very, very much for inviting me.
You're very welcome. And thank you, everyone who's joined us, and look forward to future podcasts. Thank you, everyone, and have a fantastic day.